Welcome to English Cubby, a cozy corner of the internet, where you will find motivational stories, inspiring biographies of world changers, and powerful videos to help you learn English. What if I told you that a lonely boy, laughed at by other children, and almost forced to become a farmer, would grow up to unlock the greatest secrets of the universe? What if I told you that one falling apple would change everything we know about gravity, motion, and the cosmos? This is not a fairy tale. This is the true story of Isaac Newton, the man who showed us that with curiosity, determination, and hard work, one person can literally change the world. Isaac Newton discovered many important things about our world. He helped us understand gravity, light, and mathematics. Are you ready to meet the man who discovered gravity? This story will also help you improve your English, because everything is told in easy, clear, beginner-friendly language, perfect for listening practice, storytelling, and real-world vocabulary. So, if you are learning English, or if you are searching for a story that will inspire you, educate you, and change the way you see challenges, watch this video till the end. Let's learn Newton's amazing story together. Subscribe to our channel for more stories that will help you learn English, inspire you, and improve your life. Chapter 1. A Baby Born on Christmas Day. Isaac Newton was born on the 25th of December, 1642. This was Christmas Day. He was born in England, in a small village called Woolsthorpe. Newton's life started with sadness. His father died before Isaac was born. His mother's name was Hannah. She was very young and had to take care of baby Isaac alone. When Isaac was very small, something sad happened. His mother married another man. The new husband did not want Isaac in his house. So, Isaac went to live with his grandmother. This made Isaac very lonely. Isaac was a quiet child. He did not have many friends. Other children sometimes laughed at him because he was different. But Isaac was very smart. He loved to think about how things worked. Chapter 2. School Days and Strange Interests. When Isaac was 12 years old, he went to a school called King's School. This school was in the town of Grantham. Isaac had to live away from his grandmother. At school, Isaac was not the best student at first. He was more interested in making things with his hands. He built small windmills that really worked. He made clocks and sundials. A sundial tells time using the shadow of the sun. Isaac also loved to draw and write. He wrote his thoughts in notebooks. He drew pictures of animals and machines. His teachers saw that he was very creative. One day, something important happened. A boy at school was mean to Isaac. This boy hit Isaac and called him names. Isaac became very angry. He decided to show everyone that he was better than this mean boy. Isaac started to study harder than anyone else. He wanted to be the smartest student in school. And guess what? He became the best student. This taught Isaac that hard work can help you achieve anything. Chapter 3. Almost a Farmer. When Isaac was 17, his mother wanted him to come home. She wanted Isaac to become a farmer. In those days, many people were farmers. They grew food and took care of animals. But Isaac did not want to be a farmer. He was terrible at farming. He forgot to feed the animals. When he was supposed to watch the sheep, he read books instead. The sheep ran away. Isaac's mind was always thinking about science and mathematics. He could not focus on farming work. His mother's brother, Uncle William, saw this. Uncle William was smart too. He went to a famous university called Cambridge. Uncle William told Isaac's mother, "Isaac should not be a farmer. He should go to university. His brain is too good for farming." Isaac's mother finally agreed. This was a very important moment in Isaac's life. If he had become a farmer, the world would be very different today. Chapter 4. Cambridge University. In 1661, Isaac Newton went to Cambridge University. Cambridge was, and still is, one of the best universities in the world. But Isaac was not rich. He had to work to pay for his education. Isaac worked as a servant for rich students. He cleaned their rooms and served their food. This was hard for Isaac because he was proud. But he knew education was important. At Cambridge, Isaac studied mathematics, science, and philosophy. Philosophy means thinking about big questions like, why are we here? And how does the world work? Isaac was still a quiet student. He spent most of his time alone, reading and thinking. While other students played games, Isaac studied. While other students went to parties, Isaac worked on mathematical problems. His professors noticed that Isaac was special. He asked very good questions. He thought about problems in new ways. Isaac was becoming a great scientist, but he did not know it yet. Chapter 5. The Great Plague. In 1665, something terrible happened in England. A disease called the plague spread everywhere. The plague made people very sick, and many people died. It was very dangerous. Cambridge University closed because of the plague. All students had to go home. Isaac returned to his mother's house in Woolsthorpe. He was 23 years old. Isaac had to stay home for almost 2 years. But these 2 years became the most important time in his life. Scientists call this period Isaac's miracle years, or annus mirabilis in Latin. Why were these years so special? Because Isaac made his greatest discoveries during this time. He was alone with his thoughts, with no distractions. He could think deeply about the mysteries of the universe. Chapter 6. The Famous Apple. Now we come to the most famous story about Newton. You probably know this story, but let me tell it properly. One day, Isaac was sitting under an apple tree in his mother's garden. He was thinking about the moon and the planets. Why does the moon stay in the sky? He wondered. Why doesn't it fall down to earth? Suddenly, an apple fell from the tree and hit the ground near Isaac. Most people would just pick up the apple and eat it. But Isaac was different. He started thinking. Why did the apple fall down? Isaac thought. Why didn't it fall up or sideways? It always falls down, toward the earth. Then Isaac had a brilliant idea. Maybe the same force that pulls the apple to the ground also pulls the moon toward the earth. But the moon is moving so fast around the Earth that it never falls down. This idea led Isaac to discover gravity. Gravity is the force that pulls everything toward the Earth. It's why things fall down. It's why we don't float in the air. It's why the planets stay in their paths around the sun. Chapter 7: Mathematics and the Universe. Isaac didn't just discover gravity. He also invented a new kind of mathematics called calculus. Calculus helps us understand how things change over time. For example, if a car is going faster and faster, calculus can tell us exactly how fast it will be going at any moment. If a ball is thrown in the air, calculus can tell us where it will be at any time. Isaac needed calculus to explain gravity and the movement of planets. But when he tried to find books about calculus, he couldn't find any. Why? Because it didn't exist yet. So, Isaac invented it himself. Isaac also studied light during his time at home. He discovered that white light, like sunlight, is actually made of many colors mixed together. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. All the colors of the rainbow. He proved this by using a special piece of glass called a prism. When white light goes through a prism, it splits into all the rainbow colors. This discovery helped us understand how our eyes see color. Chapter 8: Return to Cambridge. When the plague ended in 1667, Isaac returned to Cambridge University. But now he was not just a student. He was becoming a professor. Isaac was only 24 years old when he became a professor. This was very unusual. Most professors were much older. But Isaac's teachers knew he was a genius. As a professor, Isaac taught mathematics and physics. Physics is the science that studies how things move and work. Isaac taught students about light, motion, and gravity. But Isaac was not a very good teacher. He spoke very quietly. His lectures were very difficult to understand. Sometimes no students came to his classes. Isaac would give his lecture to an empty room. Isaac didn't mind teaching to an empty room. He was more interested in his research than in teaching. Research means studying and discovering new things. Chapter 9: The Royal Society. In London, there was an important group of scientists called the Royal Society. The smartest people in England belonged to this group. They met to discuss new discoveries and ideas. The Royal Society heard about Isaac's work. They were very impressed. They asked Isaac to join their group. This was a great honor. At the Royal Society, Isaac met other brilliant scientists. One of them was Robert Hooke. Hooke was also studying light and gravity. But Hooke and Isaac did not like each other. Hooke claimed that he had discovered some of the same things as Isaac. This made Isaac very angry. Isaac did not like to share credit for his discoveries. This began a long fight between the two men. Despite the fight with Hooke, Isaac continued his research. He was working on his greatest book, a book that would change the world. Chapter 10: The Great Book, Principia. For many years, Isaac worked on a book called Principia Mathematica. In English, this means Mathematical Principles. This book explained Isaac's laws of physics and gravity. Writing this book was very hard work. Isaac had to explain very difficult ideas in a way that other scientists could understand. He worked day and night for months. Isaac's friend Edmund Halley helped him publish the book. Halley even paid for the printing with his own money. Halley later became famous for discovering Halley's comet. When Principia was published in 1687, it amazed the scientific world. Scientists realized that Isaac had explained how the entire universe works. The book contained Isaac's 3 laws of motion. 1. Things that are not moving will stay still unless something pushes them. Things that are moving will keep moving unless something stops them. 2. When you push something harder, it moves faster. 3. When you push something, it pushes back on you with the same force. These laws explain everything from why cars need brakes to how rockets fly to space. Chapter 11. Fame and Recognition. After Principia was published, Isaac Newton became the most famous scientist in the world. People called him a genius. Universities gave him honors. Kings and queens wanted to meet him. But fame did not make Isaac happy. He was still a lonely person. He never married or had children. He had very few close friends. Isaac preferred books and mathematics to people. Isaac did enjoy the respect that came with fame. He liked being recognized as the greatest scientist. When other scientists disagreed with him, Isaac became very angry. In 1705, Queen Anne made Isaac a knight. This means his official name became Sir Isaac Newton. He was the first scientist ever to receive this honor. Isaac also became very rich. His discoveries made him famous, and fame brought money. He bought a big house and lived comfortably for the rest of his life. Chapter 12. Other Interests. Isaac Newton was not only a scientist. He had many other interests, too. Isaac was very religious. He spent a lot of time reading the Bible and writing about God. He believed that his scientific discoveries helped people understand God's creation better. Isaac also studied alchemy. Alchemy was an old science that tried to turn ordinary metals into gold. Today we know this is impossible, but in Isaac's time, many smart people believed in alchemy. Isaac was interested in history too. He tried to figure out the exact dates when things happened in ancient times. He studied the histories of Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Later in his life, Isaac worked for the government. He became the master of the royal mint. The royal mint makes the country's money, coins, and paper money. Isaac's job was to make sure the money was made correctly and that no one was making fake money. Isaac was very good at this job. He caught many criminals who were making fake coins. He helped make England's money system better and safer. Chapter 13. Later Years and Arguments. As Isaac got older, he had many arguments with other scientists. Isaac did not like to be challenged or criticized. His biggest argument was with a German scientist named Gottfried Leibniz. Both Isaac and Leibniz had invented calculus, the advanced mathematics we talked about earlier. The question was, who invented it first? Isaac claimed he invented calculus first. Leibniz claimed he invented it first. This argument lasted for many years. It made Isaac very upset and angry. Today, historians believe that both men invented calculus around the same time, but independently. This means they both discovered the same thing without knowing about each other's work. Isaac also argued with other scientists about light, gravity, and other topics. These arguments were often bitter and personal. Isaac could be very mean to people who disagreed with him. Despite these arguments, Isaac continued to be respected as the greatest scientist of his time. People forgave his bad temper because his discoveries were so important. Chapter 14. The End of a Great Life. Isaac Newton lived to be 84 years old, which was very old for his time. Most people in the 1600s and 1700s died much younger. In his last years, Isaac was still working and thinking about science. He never really retired. He continued to study, write, and solve problems until near the end of his life. On the 20th of March 1727, Isaac Newton died in London. His death was peaceful. He died in his sleep. The whole country mourned his death. Everyone knew that a great man had passed away. Isaac was buried in Westminster Abbey, one of the most important churches in England. Only the most respected people are buried there. Kings, queens, poets, and heroes rest in Westminster Abbey. On Isaac's tomb, there are beautiful words written in Latin. In English they say, "Here lies Isaac Newton, knight, who by the divine strength of his mind, and by his mathematical principles, explored the orbits of the planets, the paths of comets, the tides of the seas, and the powers of light." Chapter 15. Newton's Legacy. What Isaac Newton discovered changed the world forever. His work affects our lives every single day, even though he died almost 300 years ago. When engineers build bridges, they use Newton's laws of motion. When doctors use lasers for surgery, they use Newton's discoveries about light. When astronauts go to space, they use Newton's law of gravity to plan their trips. Your smartphone, your car, your computer, all of these things work because of scientific principles that Newton discovered or helped us understand. Newton showed us that the universe follows mathematical rules. Before Newton, people thought that things in the heavens, like planets and stars, followed different rules than things on Earth. Newton proved that the same laws of physics work everywhere in the universe. Newton also showed us how to do science properly. He taught us to observe carefully, do experiments, and use mathematics to understand what we see. This method of science is still used today. Many famous scientists came after Newton and built on his work. Albert Einstein, who discovered relativity, said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Einstein was talking about giants like Newton. Chapter 16. Why Newton was so great. What made Isaac Newton so special? Why do we still talk about him 300 years after his death? First, Newton was incredibly curious. He always asked, "Why?" When an apple fell, He didn't just see an apple falling. He asked, "Why does it fall down and not up?" Second, Newton worked very hard. He would work on a problem for hours, days, or even years until he solved it. He never gave up. Third, Newton was brave enough to think new thoughts. In his time, people believed many wrong ideas about how the world worked. Newton wasn't afraid to prove these ideas wrong. Fourth, Newton was very good at mathematics. He could use numbers and equations to describe exactly how things worked. This made his ideas very precise and powerful. Fifth, Newton connected different areas of science. He showed that the force that makes an apple fall is the same force that keeps the moon in orbit. He connected earthly things with heavenly things. Finally, Newton wrote his ideas down clearly, even though his books were difficult. He shared his knowledge with the world. Science advances when people share what they learn. Isaac Newton once said, "I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, while the great ocean of truth lay undiscovered before me." This shows us that even though Newton discovered so much, he knew there was still much more to learn. He was humble about his achievements. Newton's message for us. What can we learn from Isaac Newton's life? His story teaches us many important lessons. First, it's okay to be different. Isaac was a quiet, lonely child who loved to think and build things. Other children laughed at him, but his differences made him special. Being different can be a strength, not a weakness. Second, education is very important. Isaac almost became a farmer, but education changed his life. Learning opens doors and creates opportunities. Third, hard work pays off. Newton's greatest discoveries came from years of careful thinking and working. Nothing great happens without effort. Fourth, curiosity is valuable. Always ask questions. Wonder about the world around you. The person who asks, "Why?" might discover something amazing. Fifth, don't give up when things are difficult. Newton faced many challenges: a difficult childhood, arguments with other scientists, and very hard problems to solve. But he never gave up. Sixth, share your knowledge. Newton's discoveries helped everyone because he wrote books and shared his ideas. Knowledge becomes more powerful when we share it. Today, there are still many mysteries in the universe waiting to be discovered. Who knows? Maybe one of you watching this video will become the next Newton and discover something that changes the world. Isaac Newton showed us that one person, with curiosity, hard work, and determination, can understand the secrets of the universe and make life better for everyone. Thank you for learning about Isaac Newton with me today. Remember, keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep wondering about our amazing world.